I think the idea was, I'm a kid, and it would, kind of build up this emotion in me, and it just wasn't like, I don't know. I was like, oh yeah, that ain't it, bro. But he was, and I think somebody had asked him years later about that situation. He's like, I don't remember that, but it sounds like something I do. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? But it just didn't work for me in that moment.
I thought he would have. What's his name would have got him when he said, "Would you run the base to, boy?" Huh? He's like, "I'm against you right now." If they brought Corky on this set, that would have had you to crying. That was something, boy. That part there. Old boy put out that chain, and who he beat the dog at a jig. He beat him good, and nobody cared because he went after Curtis and Mike's girlfriend. That was dirty. Getting mad because he lost the basketball game. Getting mad.
I mean, I don't know if that's something I would do as an adult. You know what I mean? That trying to help somebody else find that emotion. But I can see how it could work.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had no idea that it took him a few days to do the scenes, but I mean, at that time he was hot as hell, so it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think that was the beginning of when he was starting to get hot, because that was. I'm not sure if they came out at the same time, but that Pulp Fiction, I feel like, really catapulted him. Like, he's in like damn near every movie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I feel like Pulp Fiction kind of was that transition for me, man.
I remember that.
So yeah, I think they both came out the same year, and it was both Miramax.
Yeah, he was doing his thing at that time. But I do want to ask you, do you remember, shooting that basketball scene when a little girl get killed?
Yeah, I mean that.
Ooh, that was rough.
And the scene with the dog. People
that was
ask
rough.
about those scenes a lot, and for me, in it, I still was a kid and looking at it like technical, like, oh wow, we got like there's a tube behind her that's leaking this red ooze out. You know what I mean? So I wasn't like, oh, this is crazy, like it really looks like, but I was just still being technical with it. Try to get the emotion right for the scene. But yeah, it was definitely wild how we shot that, man, and like had the ball explode, and she's laying there. I've got my hands, and it was so sticky, and I got my hands on her neck, and I'm like, wow, this is like it's like syrup, you know what I mean, or like a honey or something. And with the dog scene, when I shot the dog, people always like, "Hey, why'd you shoot the dog?" I'm like, "Well, it was in the script."
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, I don't know, but I think for Fresh, it was kind of like he had lost Chucky, and this was like a reminder, maybe the dog, and he also didn't like the way Chucky had him fighting and killing, with the dog fights, so he kind of just took it in his own hands to kind of end that. But the dog was like some type of mechanical dog that we shot. They were able to like hang it up, and then they had a remote that made the limbs go like this.
No, I know about that.
And then just put some squibs on it when I pulled the trigger.
Mechanical dog.
So yeah, it was all technical stuff, bro.
When you look back at Fresh, right, what scene do you remember the most shooting?
On Fresh?
Yeah, on Fresh.
Besides the getting slapped scene? No. I think the other scene that, was memorable for me because, it was something that we didn't rehearse. It was something that was brought up on the day. That was an artistic decision. It was a scene where after I come from the precinct after Rosie gets killed, I go lay down in the bed naked. You know what I'm saying? And that was something that
The hell?
wasn't in the script or planned before. But
How
on the
about
day,
that?
the director just had this idea of him curling up into a fetus position naked. And he asked me if I wanted to do that. I was like, what? What the hell? I don't know about that. You got to ask my mom. I'm not trying to do that. But, my parents were like, it was my decision if I wanted to do it, if I felt like it would make, the movie better somehow. And, I was like, you know what? Whatever, I'll do it, And we stripped down the set. There wasn't
The only way you do that is if you had like the bloody clothes on from Chucky getting
and,
killed.
and just shot it.
That didn't happen. That happened from far away.
That was just one thing where I was like, damn, I'm naked. This is gonna be on film. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know how to feel about that, but it was done tastefully, so I wasn't mad at it.
If I'm not mistaken, Big Pun took a soundbite from the movie, right?
He did the Chucky scene where he's like, bam, bam, Spider-Man go down, bam. This person go down, oh, they're going down. Yeah, he did use that on his album, which is wild.
Yeah, I think he used that on the intro.
Yeah, man. And I always be like, I always listen to be like, oh, is somebody gonna use any of my lines or reference anything from me in a song? You know what I mean? And this happened a couple times. Jewel's actually made a song about Fresh. Little Boy Fresh. You know what I mean? And I know Jay-Z made a reference. He was like, I was like Fresh. Papa raised me with chess moves. And I'm always proud of stuff like that, man, to see the influence. Because you never know what these projects are going to do. You always take a chance with anything. I honestly, I was just happy to be there, be a part of a film. But
getting back to the slap thing, I remember he slapped somebody in the movie. The woman that was all messed up with the drugs and everything, walking up to him talking about you got what, I forgot what she said. You got something for me or something. He slapped the hell out of her, and then Jake started laughing. I was like, all right, that's not funny, but. And she walked away. I remember that. But what's name slapping him? Yeah, he went there slapped the girl. That was crazy.
You never know. I didn't think that it would be any. I didn't know. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna be in a movie. That's all I knew. And it's dope when it can touch people in a positive way, and people can relate, and it does help them get through certain situations, or they can feel like they're understood. And it's dope to hear the stories from different people that come up to me on the street, like, yo, I was Fresh, and watching that, my pops made me watch that, so I could, I could learn how to move in these streets. My pops taught me chess, so I could have that mindset to, overcome these obstacles. And I didn't know how to play chess. That was all. All those games were, rehearsed. We had to play the same game every time. I had a coach for that as well. So, when you're shooting, it's got to land in a certain place at a certain time. Everything's got to be rehearsed. So, yeah, all those games were pre-rehearsed games. But it's just dope to see how, the art can affect people's lives, man.
Definitely one of my favorites, man. As a kid, man,
it's a classic.
I used to have that on replay over and over, man. So
I appreciate that. I actually did a screening for it. Somebody did a screening for it, and it was like one of the anniversaries, and they had me speak. And then, after, I'm just talking to the people, and some guy walks up behind me and is like, hey, Sean. And I turn around, and it's the director of Fresh that came to the screening, just popped up, didn't tell anybody, you know what I mean? Didn't speak or anything, but he just popped up because he had heard about it, and I hadn't seen him damn near since we, were promoting Fresh, you know what I mean? So it had been years. This happened probably like 2 years ago, and so we kind of reconnected as well. And I brought up the age-old question, people are always asking for a part 2, and he's like, he don't really want to touch it, and I get that. Like, a lot of times when people do like a sequel to these things years later, it's
everybody's gone. There's no point in bringing another one. There's no point.
It's like, yeah, some things you gotta kind of just leave alone, man. Stat. What do they say? Like, quit while you're ahead. That's what some of these cats should have done. You know what I mean? I get it. Yeah, I think we should quit while we're ahead on that one.
That was something, boy. Oh, there's no ads or commercials. Because I remember that one. That was something serious, boy. I remember at the end, this guy, he had everybody turning on everybody. And got his way out of there. And then I remember they got the clips on YouTube. Checkmate. He's like he threw it under the bed. He's like, what are you talking about? I got nothing on me, man. I got nothing on me, man. I'm clean and motherfucker. I got nothing on me. Next thing you know, you got a 38 and 2 bags of dope. I don't know about that. He slipped it under the bed when his back was turned. Ooh. And then sitting outside the door. Outside the car where they was having a shootout, and this man sitting up there eating a candy bar, like, well, having a shootout. And that's about it. And then at your favorite part, when Corky beat the dog out of jail. I don't know, put it at the end of this video if I did a reaction to that. Who'd you run the base to, boy? Oh yeah, Ron Bryce was mean. Ooh, he was mean in that character. He played another movie similar to that. What the hell is that damn movie? I think it was Fly By Night. Yeah, I think it was like 2 years before that. He was mean as hell in that. Yeah. And they was in the corner together because he was in that too with what's the name had the dreads. Remember all that? Yeah, but fresh that movie there. It's a classic.